This is a brief explanation of how to complete the final evaluation for your practice concepts assessment form. This is a requirement for successful completion of clinical this semester. You will use exactly the same form as you did for your midterm, so you will already have this information filled out here, and your CPS will put down the final hours offered and final hours attended. You will have completed the midterm section here, and for the final, this is where you're going to put in your final examples. Here's the ones you need to complete. 1.1, perform safely. You need to provide a clear example of how you've demonstrated safety both in the clinical setting as well as the BSIM setting. The next one you're going to do is 1.6, assesses client with a variety of needs with some assistance. You have been completing assessments in clinical and you have been completing different types of assessments on BSIM. I expect you to provide two examples in there, one from clinical and one from the BSIM. Finally, 1.9 requires assistance with applying knowledge and skill to underlying principles of routine practices and additional precautions. This speaks to infection prevention and control, and I expect two clear examples in here for infection prevention and control, or one really good example. You can speak to me about your clinical setting and or the BSIM experience and or what you have learned as part of COVID and PPE protection. 2, caring and connectedness. I expect you to put down an example here for 2.1, investigates the lived experiences of others with diversity from self, and you can use the BSIM for that. Healing and health promotion. I expect you to complete 3.2. Seeks out opportunities to promote health with client. There are wonderful examples in the BSIM where you had to do health teaching opportunities, and I expect you to put an example in there. I need you to do 3.3, sets priorities for care with more complex situations with assistance. I need to see an example in here, and you can certainly use the BSIM for this, about how you set priorities for care, meaning which one do you need to do first, which one could come later. Or recognizing a situation where you would have to do this first rather than that. So I'm expecting to see an example in there from that. Caring and critical thinking, I want you to complete 4.1. Seeks opportunities to explore problem situations with assistance. Put examples in here that you can use the BSIM experience here and your discussions in post-conference. An example of how you participated in there. Not what someone else said, but what you said in post-conference. And then finally, for caring and critical thinking, uses critical thinking skills with guidance in making practice decisions. An example in here, again from the BSIM, where you've used critical thinking in order to make a practice decision about how you're going to complete care for your client in BSIM. Caring and professionalism. I expect you to complete 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, 5.5, and 5.6. You are certainly welcome to put in examples for 5.7, 8, and 9 if you wish, but the first 6 are the priority ones that I'm looking for clear examples in. So, for example, if you were in clinical week 8 and 9, you can certainly put in some examples here. Also, the BSIM lends itself, because some of you already identified that the BSIM has American criteria in there and American lab results, and it might be recognizing that is that appropriate for an RN or an RPN, or is that something that I need to interpret. Confidentiality and privacy, I'm expecting a good clear example in there. Demonstrates accountability and responsibility for own action. I want to see professionalism in there. Did you wear your uniform and your name tag every day to clinical? If you did not, I expect to see you put that in here, that was an area that you worked on to improve. Reflects on professional behavior in the practice setting. Again, that one allows you to look at and explore what is it that is expected of me. Professional dress, professional demeanor, If you are verbally outspoken, how have you sought to improve that? Your CPS will put information in here, areas of strength and areas for feedback related to the 5 competency areas of competency, connectedness, health promotion, critical thinking, and professionalism, some areas of strength and areas for improvement. If you have any questions, please ask your CPS or me.